Have you ever asked for some simple tech advice, just how to get organized, and you end up with a list of tools that feels like you need a PhD to understand? Yeah, you are not alone. So today we are going to cut right through all that noise. We're going to build a simple but really powerful digital brain. And the best part, it starts right on your phone with zero complexity. Let's do this. I mean, this is the core problem, right? Your goal is simple. You just want to organize your thoughts, maybe sketch out a mind map. But the advice you get? Oh, you need to set up databases, learn these code editors, juggle 5 different apps. It's like asking how to lay a brick and being handed the blueprints for a skyscraper. It is so overwhelming, and honestly, it stops most of us before we even get started. And this quote from our source material it perfectly captures that feeling. You get this well-intentioned advice, maybe from an AI chat or a tech forum, and it shows you this amazing final destination, this perfectly organized digital life. But it completely forgets to give you a clear step-by-step map to get there from where you are right now. So you're left feeling inspired, sure, but also way more confused than when you started. So this is where we give you that map. We are going to cut through all the noise, all the jargon, and we're going to outline a clear, simple, and totally actionable path forward. So forget all those distractions and the unnecessary tools. This is the direct route from being overwhelmed to being organized. Okay, now just look at the contrast here. It's so clear. On the left, that's the typical advice, right? Databases, code editors, a dozen apps all competing for your attention. It's just complex. But on the right, that's our path. Just 2 free apps, 1 super clear workflow, and absolutely 0 distractions. We are choosing simplicity and focus over all that unnecessary power. And here it is, the entire plan, all on one slide. It is just 4 simple steps. We're going to get 2 apps. We'll create something called a repo, which, by the way, is just a fancy word for a project folder. Then we'll start with simple text, and from there, we'll graduate to creating visuals automatically. That's it. This whole journey is something you can start and finish today. All right, let's get practical. Now we're going to look at the exact tools you need. And the good news is they're free, they're simple, and they work together perfectly on Android. You only need these 2 apps to get started. Seriously. Think of the official GitHub app as your central filing cabinet in the cloud. It's where everything gets stored, safe and sound. And GitJournal? That's your simple notebook. You just write in it, and it automatically files your notes away in GitHub for you. It's simple, it's seamless, and did I mention it's free? Okay, now for the really cool part. This is the magic trick. We're going to see how this simple text-based system can create clean, professional-looking diagrams for you automatically. No extra software, no design skills needed. So the magic behind this is a tool called Mermaid. And what's so amazing is that it's already built right into GitHub. You don't have to install a single thing. You just write text in a specific way, and GitHub understands that text is a recipe for a diagram. It's kind of like writing down the ingredients for a cake, and GitHub just bakes it for you. And this just lays out the workflow perfectly. It's 2 easy steps. First, you hop over to a website called mermaid.live. Think of this as your playground. You can type your text recipe on one side and literally watch the diagram update instantly on the other. Once you're happy with it, you move to step 2. You just copy that text recipe and save it in GitJournal, which files it away in its permanent home on GitHub. Easy. And this is what that text recipe actually looks like. I know, at first glance it might look like code, but let's break it down. You can see it just says Gantt to tell it what kind of chart to make. It gives it a title, like My Learning Plan, and after that, it's really just a simple list of tasks and dates. This is the ingredient list that you write. And here is the payoff. When you save that text file to GitHub, it automatically sees that mermaid recipe and bam, it renders this clean, professional Gantt chart for you. You just wrote a few lines of plain text and you got a perfect visual of your plan. And this works for mind maps, flowcharts, you name it. Okay, so now that we've seen how this simple tool works, let's zoom out a bit. Because this whole text-first approach isn't just about making diagrams. It's a really powerful philosophy for thinking and for planning any project, no matter how big or small. And that leads us to this awesome concept called vibe planning. This is that essential first step of any project. It's where you focus on the big picture, the overall feel, the why. It's about designing the blueprint for the cathedral before you start getting bogged down in the specific mix of the concrete. And I just love this metaphor from the source material. What we've learned today, the 2 apps, the simple mermaid diagrams, that's the first perfect foundation stone. It's a small, totally achievable task.
but it is also the very first step toward building something much, much bigger. And this shows you just how big that cathedral could become. It's a grand vision for a fully automated system. Now, don't worry about the specific terms here. The key idea is that these simple components we're starting with can be combined to create something incredibly powerful. It's an ambitious goal for sure, but remember, it all starts with that one simple foundation stone that we laid today.
Okay, for our last section, let's apply this principle of structured thinking to something we're all starting to use more and more, AI chats. It turns out that the same ideas of focus and organization can make how we work with AI dramatically more effective. Right now, our conversations with AI are kind of like a single river. Every time we explore a new idea, it's a tangent that just clutters up the main flow. But what if we could fork the conversation? Imagine being able to create a perfect duplicate of your chat at any point to go explore a side idea. You could create all these parallel threads to explore tangents, and each one would have the full context, all while keeping that main conversation clean and focused. It's such a powerful idea for managing complexity. So, in just a few minutes, we've gone from a simple little organizational tool all the way to a grand vision for a personal, automated system. We've seen the blueprint for the cathedral. So the only question left is, what's that first, simple, perfect foundation stone that you are going to lay today?